You good, Mr. Sherlock? Good evening. It's time to call the June 3rd, 2025 Work County Board of Education meeting to order. Our first order of business is our Pledge of Allegiance, and we have a really good-looking group of FFA members here this evening. We're going to ask them to lead us in the pledge. You can do it from right there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Who was the first person that started? There's our leader, okay? When you have a group, there's got to be one that steps up and does it. So thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Okay, under the agenda, we have, under number 7, we have a name. Number 8, B, there's a name. 9, A and B, we have 2 names. And I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Zero comments on the board meeting protocol on that policy up for acceptance tonight. Any questions about the agenda as presented? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, we're down to attendance report. Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Metz, and thank you, Mr. McCown. And by the way, I'm sorry we had a PowerPoint available, but our internet's down right now, so you have it in your packet. Each of the board members should. So, first thing in regards to our annual attendance report. First thing, the best way to summarize this is with the Work County Primary Center. The attendance fluctuated to a low of 91.6 in May, with the high point being in January, where it was at 94.6. At the middle school, the low point was at 90%, which was also in May, 90.2. You all are seeing a pattern here. And then the height was at 93.3. In regards to the high school, the low point also was in May, 88.8, with the high point being 92.5 in December. In regard to the district, 90.2 was the low point in May. See a pattern here, of course. And then the high point would be at 92.9. And I figured that would be the quickest way to summarize all those graphs, and all that information, of course, is in your packet. In regards to the district attendance by month, September was at 91.5, October was at 92%, November was at 92.9, December was at 92.5, January was at 92.7, February was at 92.1, March was at 92.3, April was at 92.2, and May was at 90.2. That was district-wide. In regards to the year summary for each of the schools and district, district-wide we were at 91.9 for the year. The high school was at 90.3. The middle school was at 92%, and the primary center was at 93.4. In comparing our attendance from year to year, beginning with 2019-2020 year, as you can tell by the charts there, in the 2019-2020 year, it was at 92.1. 2021, it was at 88. 21-22, it was at 88.1. 22-23 year, it was at 90.4. 23-24 years at 91.7. and 24-25 was at 91.9. So our attendance increased by 0.2% from last year, and during this 6-year span, our height of attendance was at 92.1 in 2019-2020, and our low point was during the 21-22 year at 88.1. Anyone have any questions or concerns? I know I went through a lot of numbers and data there real quick, so.
Any questions for Mr. Smith?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, do you know how this compares to other school districts?
To be honest with you, I think this is very comparable. A 90%, in a perfect world, Mr. Sherlock, what they'd like to have is 90% of the students be here 90% of the time. And there's been just very few counties that have reached that goal, and we're trying to attack chronic absenteeism. But to answer your question, I think this is an acceptable attendance level. Let's put it that way. We're striving to do better, but generally 90% is a goal that we've always set throughout the school year is what we've tried to do. Not just here, but in other counties as far as it. Mr. Metz, wasn't that when you were here as well? It was 90% roughly was your goal?
Yeah, I think, Mr. Sherlock's question's valid there. I think that we're probably going to have to wait, though, to get there till other people till they end up posting that on the state website. And then, because I doubt if it's posted yet.
Correct. But if you're talking about the data from the last 4 or 5 years, yeah, we're consistent with the other counties.
It's similar.
Yes,
mostly.
very comparable, huh?
Okay. Yeah, and the reason that I ask that is if there is some other, I remember previously, I want to say in 17 or 18, we had like Strive for 95, and the goal was to try to get 95%. Difficult goal.
Right.
Rarely, I think we cross that threshold.
Right, correct.
But the reason I ask about other districts is anybody else reaching higher standards? And if so, how are they doing it? That's the real root of the question.
Well, to answer your question, Mr. Sherlock, Mr. McCall knows this. I have reached out to other counties, and I'm not too proud. I've took some of their ideas and some of their approaches, and to follow up on that, I've talked to Mr. McCall, and during these attendance director conferences, that's interesting you asked that. We're going to try and do some more positive reinforcement, kind of relates to PBIS and stuff, so we can strive to reach some of those goals, like you said a few years ago, where we're trying to get here. Ideally, we'd like to have 95% of the kids here 95% of the time. That was our goal, and not that we've quit doing that, but we're going to try and make another push next year on an attendance incentive program to see if we can't even do better than what we are right now, Mr. Sherlock. So we've got some trainings over the last couple years that maybe that can enhance what we're doing, to answer your question. We're going to try some of those. Starting next year fresh, try some of those. So to attack the chronic absentee part of this. And so you don't have a certain group of people pulling all the attendance rate up for the others.
Right.
Yes, that's our goal.
Good, thank you.
Okay. B is potential artwork for the Ward County High School gymnasium floor. That's Mr. Cheeseman, but I do not see Mr. Cheeseman.
He could not be here this evening, but in his place, he asked that we present this letter to the board that I believe each of you have.
Yes, he was unable to attend, Mr. Metz, so he asked if I would share some information with you this evening, if possible. So.
Okay. Well, I'm probably going to kill this conversation.
Okay. Okay.
And that is that I'm going to ask Mr. McCallum because this really isn't potential artwork for the gymnasium floor. That's sort of a misnomer there, okay? We're talking about a naming resolution for Coach Altop. So
Correct.
It's really not potential artwork. It's a naming resolution. So I'm going to ask Mr. McCallum to place that on our next agenda, a naming resolution to name the court, not the gym, but the court. There's a difference there.
Under information.
No, that's an action item.
Okay.
And then we'll have those conversations and vote on it. And at that time, Mr. Cheeseman can be here and Mrs. Smith can be here and speak to the board, and we'll be able to ask questions and we'll be able to bring it to a vote.
Okay. All right.
Rest of the board members good with that?
You know, I have something to add to that. If we are going to name something after somebody, then I would also like to see a write-up that would go with some sort of dedication or plaque, because it would do no good to if we decided to name it after him, to not have something to let people who, this is the first time they've heard of his name, or new students to realize why he deserves the honor of the name.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see, if that is an action item, some sort of write-up that would be a plaque or whatever that would go in
Yep.
conjunction.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, you know, we're truly not talking about potential artwork. It's not artwork.
Oh, yeah, that's what I
Okay?
elaborated on,
It's-
Mr. Metz,
It's
was.
a name and resolution that takes action of the board.
Right, and that's why
So
we,
this will give you guys time to come up with what Ms. Sherlock said, plus come up with basically a resolution while we're going to do that. And then we'll put that in front of the board at the next board meeting. So
Oh, okay.
I think that's the way to go about it.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Because really, right now, because it is something that we're going to bring before us, so really, it's not on the agenda, okay? It's on the agenda as artwork, not as a naming resolution. So I'm probably going to kill that conversation right now, and we'll have it next board meeting.
Oh, yeah, we weren't wanting it as an action item, Mr. Metz. It was
Okay.
just to discuss it this evening. No, it wasn't going to be an action item.
Okay.
It's
Sounds
just
good.
information, yeah.
Can we go back to the attendance? I'd like to.
You can go wherever you wish, Ms.
Well,
Stewart.
since Jeff's still standing, the chronic absenteeism, is that included with the 90% and all the percentages there?
No, like the numbers I just told you, Brent,
Right.
is the average among all the population of students. In other
Okay.
words, you could have 60% of the students being here 98% of the time, and it would bring up the average of the rest. So
Right.
that's what I say. A true depiction, we'd like to have 90% of our kids here, or 95% of our kids here 95% of the
Right.
time. But really, realistically, what happens, there is a group of kids that bring up that average. But
Right, well, at graduation or any of these honors, you see all these kids come up, so
Yeah.
you see it's,
That's it.
something to be proud of, with some of them. And actually, we have one student in the high school that had perfect attendance.
Right.
And that, I don't know if the middle school had it, I don't know, but, but that's what, also with the chronic, that's one thing they like to judge us on, the state does. Do we have we are with that, or is that 90% for the whole school? or-
Yeah, well, you mean, what's our goal, Brent, or what are
Well,
you
no,
asking me?
They expect us to 15% or below
Right.
for chronic absenteeism.
And I'm going to tell you, I told Mr. McCown today, we discussed this, I didn't bring the information back today because I was not confident that the data was actually
Okay.
correct. But Mr. McCown knows we struggle with this all the time. We have made improvements, I think, in at least 2 of the 3 schools,
Right.
but I don't know that to where they're the 15% across the board, to
Yeah.
answer your question,
Yeah,
Brent.
that's just one thing they preach to us.
Oh, yeah, trust me, we're hearing it too, so.
You probably hear it also.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from Mr. Smith or Mr. McCown? So we'll put that on the next one. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're down to recognitions, and I see she just turned up here. So we are going to recognize tonight the retirement of Barb McCrae. Mr. McCown.
I have her certificate here from the board, so seems like last time Barb was here, being recognized as Service Personnel of the Year, and this evening we have Barb back with us, recognizing her retirement. And I also want to thank the retired teachers and retired service personnel organization for bringing some refreshments and coming out to help us celebrate our retirements. And this year we only have one, and that's Barb. So I wish you all the best in your retirement, but I hope I see you coming back in 7 every once in a while. And I will tell you that the kids at the primary and the middle school are very, very sad to see Barb go. And I think they had a lot of fun with Barb during their last week of school this past week. So Barb, if you'd come up, we'll get a picture and try to get you in the paper.
Yeah, I think I've seen you stand on your head once, but I'm not sure. I kind of figured.
Appreciate it, Barb.
was just saying before we came in, how, when I was in middle school, I watched you and all that. How long did it take to get through all that? I mean, there wasn't anybody that I didn't want to hug, so. Oops, I about got one yours.
And there's cookies and refreshments there behind Mr. Moore, if anybody would like any. You will not interrupt us or offend us if you walk over and get something, okay? Well, you guys will. You got to wait till we recognize you, and then you go do it, okay, as you walk out. Okay, so next up is our Ward County High School FFA, and it's the AGCM winners, and I'm sure somebody's going to tell me what that is. Mr. McCowan.
So, yeah, come on up and you can talk about what that competition is and then introduce your winning team.
Okay, so back in May, this team put together a media plan for the West Virginia FFA Association for the Ag Communications Contest. They had to have it submitted, mid-April? Mid-April, they had to evaluate a budget, media tactics, the problem that was given to them, and build like a 20-page media plan. They then went to West Virginia State University and competed in 2 writing exercises, a communication quiz, an editing quiz, a presentation, and answered questions. This team will be moving on to nationals in October to represent West Virginia.
I don't know quite how to say it.
The plan was on, so National FFA has the Give the Gift the Blue program where they take sponsorships to buy jackets for kids in need or lower socioeconomical status. Well, West Virginia is not fully involved in that, so they had to come up with a plan to up West Virginia's involvement for social media, getting kids in jackets, finding sponsorships.
Good deal. Good deal. And where is Nationals? Indianapolis, good city. It'll be fun. I know you guys fundraise,
Yes.
but if you need a little money, don't be afraid to come back to the board and ask for a little money.
We will certainly do that because the cost of nationals has definitely went up this year.
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
We're always.
Oh, you haven't introduced your
Oh.
team.
So I have Grayson March, Ruby Murray, Carly Phillips, and Aniston Carruthers.
All right.
Board members, any questions? Questions, comments? No? Guys, we want to get pictures. Come on up. Come on around, guys. I promise you we won't bite. Okay, now we need parents and sponsor, not sponsor, but what's the word I want to use? Coach. Parents, come on up.
Remember that? I didn't think that.
We really are.
Congratulations.
What a good cause, too, that's awesome.
I should also add this is Work County's first win in that contest.
Good deal. Guys, cookies and drinks over here. Don't be shy. We'll go about our business and you won't interrupt us a bit.
Maybe, but.
Okay, delegations. We have no delegations this evening, so we're going to move to agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the May 20th, 25 regular meeting?
So moved.
Any corrections, concerns, comments? Here none, we have a motion to approve the minutes of the May 20, 25 regular meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. We're down to finance. Need a motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $120,205.60.
So moved.
Any questions? Well, go ahead,
So,
Mr. McCown.
Do we need to break that apart and first approve the amount of $120,272.80 and then do a separate thing for your travel that then would total the $122,0560? You've got to travel.
Right.
You've got to travel.
The motion I asked for is the 120,205.
Was
That-
the first number.
Gotcha.
That
Okay.
was my
Yes,
first number.
That's my mistake.
Okay.
My bifocals
Well,
went haywire and I transposed
Mr.
those.
McCown, not a problem, because I could have just done the other just as easy, okay? So,
bad.
yes, the motion that we have on the floor is for $120,205.60. Mr. McCown?
Yes, sorry I transposed those, so we will have a separate action for board
Right.
member travel after that. So we have 2 runs of expenditures, so the basket is a little bit light this evening. The next one will be overflowing as we try to get the fiscal year's books closed out. But the first run of expenditures on 5/29/2025 totals $50,789.49. Noteworthy in this is the Board of Risk quarterly insurance payments. Then secondly, also on 5/29/2025, in the amount of $69,483.31. Noteworthy in this, we had $16,490 worth of soil. If you haven't looked at the football field, we did some major addition there to level that up. From the far corner to this closest corner, there's about 5 feet difference in elevation from one end of the field to the other. So we've put a lot of dirt in there and grass is growing. So that is where that soil went. Then also we have in the amount of $9,474.28 counseling services from Copeland. Okay, less Mr. Metz's travel of $67.20, we come to the total of $120,205.60.
Any questions for Mr. McCown on the invoices? Here none, we have a motion to approve the payment of invoices of $120,205.60. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. And at this time, I need to recuse myself for personal conflict.
I'd like to make a motion to pay Mr. Metz's travel pay in the amount of $67.20. So moved. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right.
And although we will not take a motion on this, the total vendor checks that were approved tonight was $120,272.80. Okay, we're down to budget supplements. We have no budget supplements. So at budget transfers, I will entertain a motion to approve budget transfers at the amount of $261,842. Mr. McCown.
Okay, as you recall at the last board meeting, we had discussion about bleacher projects and the paving project over the summer for the gravel parking lot at the primary center. We are doing a budget transfer to allot for those expenditures.
Any questions for Mr. McCown? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the budget transfers in the amount of $261,842. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Down to routine business personnel. First on the list are some resignations or leave of absences. Number 1, need a motion to approve the resignation of Krista Good as yearbook advisor for Worth County Middle School effective at the end of the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
Nothing to add. Her letter was in your packet.
Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the resignation of Krista Good as yearbook advisor for Worth County Middle School effective at the end of the 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Need a motion to approve the resignation of Ryan Dotson as head golf coach for Worth County Middle School effective April 2nd, 2025.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
Hey, their letter was in your packet, and basically a work schedule change.
Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the resignation of Ryan Dotson, head golf coach, Worth County Middle School, effective April 2nd, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay.
I do have a question there, where it says, we both are going to resign.
So they
Yeah,
typed
that's
one
the next
letter. His spouse was also the assistant coach. So they just sent one email, both resigning from their positions because their work schedules have changed.
That's the next one we're going to vote on.
And it's the next item. Yes, sir.
Okay, did I get a, no, you're good, Mark. Did I get a vote on that? Did we ever vote? Let's
No.
redo. No, I don't think,
No,
I think we started to. Okay, we're going to do the vote, okay. Have a motion to approve the resignation for Ryan Dotson, head golf coach, Worth County Middle School, effective April 2nd, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. That way it's clean in Sherry's notes there, huh? Okay, now, number 3, need a motion to accept the resignation of Elizabeth Dotson, assistant golf coach, Worth County Middle School, effective April 2nd, 2025.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So, yeah, they sent one email with 2 resignations on it, and that this is the second of those. They both were resigning from the golf coach and assistant coach.
Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Elizabeth Dotson as assistant golf coach, Worth County Middle School, effective April 2nd, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, number 4, need a motion to accept the resignation of Trenton Hardbarger, assistant football coach, Worth County High School, effective May 22nd, 2025.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
His letter was in your packet, but basically the same as the last. His work schedule is making it hard for him to be free to coach. So appreciate the work that all of these coaches that have tendered letters have done for us.
Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Trenton Hardbarger, assistant football coach, Worth County High School, effective May 22nd, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Need a motion to accept the resignation of Vicki Keener as first grade teacher, as first grade reading interventionist, Worth County Primary Center, effective June 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
Her letter was in your packet, but I'd like to thank her for
Yeah.
the work that she's done in her retirement for us for many, many years, working as a first grade interventionist, and thank her for all the time that she has put in and the help that she has given.
Yeah, it's hard to make up for all that experience that she
It
has.
is.
Yeah. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Vicki Keener as first grade reading interventionist, Worth County Primary Center, effective June 30th, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Number 6, need a motion to accept the resignation of Andrea E. Fall, school psychologist, district-wide, effective June 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So her letter was in your packet. She has taken a job in New Mexico, and I wish her well in her endeavors. It says in her letter, we'll be working with students in the Navajo Nation in New Mexico. So that
Very
sounds kind of exciting. So wish her well in her new gig.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Andrea Efall as school psychologist, district-wide, effective June 30th, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. And I'm assuming all those will go back out, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, we're down to employment. Okay, need a motion to accept the employment of Rebecca Miller, summer program teacher, K-5 grade, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So, yeah, their applications and the policy 5,000 documents were in your packet. I think we've got some new faces for summer school teachers. I think the ones that had done it have done it for the past several years, and not speaking for all of them, but I know one of them personally, and they may need a little break after having taught summer school the past 4 years. So some new names.
Good.
But all of these candidates' information was in your packet. 2 of them are ours, and then the other 2 we have recently hired as substitute teachers and are already under contract for that.
Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to accept the employment of Rebecca Miller, summer program teacher, K-5 grade, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Need a motion to employ Susan Ellison, summer program teacher, K-5 grades, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025.
So moved.
And I'm just going to move down these unless
Yep.
there's something that you want to say about somebody if I get there.
Yep,
You-
I'm
you
good.
speak right in.
Yes, sir.
Any questions on Susan Ellison? Hear none. We have a motion to accept the employment of Susan Ellison as summer program teacher, K-5 grade, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Need a motion to accept the employment of Ellie Campbell, summer school program teacher, K-5 grades, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025.
So moved.
Any questions? Hear none. We have a motion to accept the employment of Ellie Campbell, summer program teacher for grades K through 5, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Need a motion to accept the employment of Casey Sims, summer program teacher, K-5, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025.
So moved.
Any questions? Hear none, we have a motion to accept the employment of Casey Sims, summer program teacher, K-5 grade, as needed, effective June 4th, 2025. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, this one's a little different. Need a motion to accept the employment of Pamela Parsons, supervisory aide 2, pay grade C, 3rd grade, Worth County Primary Center, effective for the 25-26 school year, with completion of her required paperwork.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So as you recall, you authorized a new 3rd grade aide position. So we did that, we posted it, and Pam Parsons was the successful bidder on that position.
Any questions? Hear none, we have a motion to accept the employment of Pamela Parsons, supervisory aide 2, pay grade C, 3rd grade, Ward County Primary Center, effective for the 25-26 school year, with completion of required paperwork. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Need a motion to accept the employment of Jeanette Roberts, assistant cheerleading coach, Ward County Middle School, effective for 25-26 school year, with the completion of required paperwork.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So the sole applicant for that position, happy to get it filled, but her application is in your packet.
Any questions? Okay, we have a motion to accept the employment of Jeanette Roberts, assistant cheerleading coach, Worth County Middle School, effective for 25-26 school year, with completion of the required paperwork. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, under number 7, I'm going to make a motion that we table number 7. And once we get it under motion, then I will explain to you why I'm saying that. And of course, if you disagree with my motion, then you can vote no, and we'll go back to the original motion. So I'm making a motion that we table the employment of Krister Chad Williams, head varsity boys basketball coach, Worth County High School, effective for the 25-26 school year with completion of required paperwork. Any questions? I guess I made that motion, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This name just came this evening, okay? And most time we see all the background paperwork for the people, the name that comes to us. And I just had a chance to look at it, and I don't think anybody else has had a chance to look at it. And I had some questions, not negative in any way, but I had some questions about whether the person was a certified teacher, had SSAC certifications, who they were, okay? So that's why I asked for postponement, or to table it, not postpone it, to table it till next board meeting, and give Mr. McCowan a chance to send that information to us so we can make a judged decision on this young man. The name that will come back to us next time will be this young man's, because we just tabled it. It's not like we put it back out for bid or anything, but I'd just like to have a little bit more information before I put my vote there. Questions?
That's fair.
Questions? Okay, so we have a motion to table the employment of Christopher Chad Williams, head varsity boys basketball coach, Worth County High School, effective for 25-26 school year with completion of the required paperwork. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. So you'll,
Yep,
okay.
I will bring that back.
Yeah, and if you will let us have his information, it'll be great. Okay, we're down to number 8, okay? I'm going to take them separately because they are different. Okay, I need a motion to approve the employment of Emily Harbarger as aide for 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McCowan, anything we need to know?
If folks didn't return their letter in time, we brought the full list of these folks back to you at the last board meeting. Everybody that returned their letter with intent to return as a substitute, whether it be service or professional, and these folks, for whatever reason, didn't get their letter to us until recently, but they do want to work, so I'm bringing their names back to you at this time.
And these are people that were on the list. These
Correct.
are not new hires.
These are not
right?
new hires. These are folks that just didn't get their letter of intent to come back next year and sub to us by last board meeting when we brought all the rest of the names to you.
Okay.
Better late than never.
Yeah. So I have a motion to, any questions about Emily Harbarger? Hear none. I have a motion to approve the employment of Emily Harbarger as aide for 25-26 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, need a motion to approve the employment of Yvonne Shears as secretary for 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Same deal, right?
Same
Mr.
deal,
McCown?
yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions on you, Mrs. Shears? Hear none. We have a motion to approve Yvonne Shears as secretary for 25-26 school year as substitute. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, need a motion of Ronnie Nemeth as a professional substitute for 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Any questions? Hear none, we have a motion to approve the employment of Ronnie Nemeth as professional substitute for 25-26 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Need a motion to approve the employment of Helen Hill as professional substitute for the 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Any questions? Hear none, we have a motion to approve the employment of Helen Hill as a professional substitute for 25-26 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, we're down to number 10, emergency basis only substitutes for rehire. Need a motion to approve Eric Gee, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, as cook and general maintenance substitute on emergency basis for 25-26 year.
So moved.
Mr. McCown, anything we
So
need?
all of these are full-time employees in some other area, but they do have the certification to be a substitute here. So they're already our full-time employees, but sometimes they are certified to sub in other areas, and as it says, we use them as a last resort in an emergency situation only.
I have a question. What, the position they're teaching in though, what happens there? That comes up also.
So with this one, it is a bus driver that I think works maintenance on certain days, and they would be available to sub on certain other days because they're driving bus.
Right.
Yeah. The others, they would be like an evening custodian that could come and sub as a cook in the day or something similar to that.
Any other questions on Mr. Gee? Here none, we have a motion to approve the employment under emergency basis for Eric G., cook, general maintenance. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Need a motion to approve the employment of Josh Moss as teacher for the 25-26 school year under emergency basis. All in favor say, I'm sorry, need a motion.
So moved.
Getting ahead of myself. Same deal, right, Mr.
Same deal
McCown?
for all of these, yes.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve Josh Moss as a teacher for 25-26 school year under an emergency basis. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, need a motion to approve the employment of Phil Harbarger as general maintenance mechanic / assistant mechanic and custodian on an emergency basis for a 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Same deal.
Same deal.
Any questions? Here none. We have a motion to approve the employment of Phil Harbarger as general maintenance mechanic, assistant mechanic, and custodian on an emergency basis for 25-26 year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, now I need a motion to approve the employment of Robert Hickman as general maintenance for the 25-26 school year under emergency basis.
So moved.
Same deal as before. Any questions? Here are none. We have a motion to approve the employment of Robert Hickman as general maintenance for 25-26 school year under emergency basis. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, we're down to band camp instructors. If it suits the board, we have A through H. If it suits the board, I'm going to take it as one motion unless there's somebody you wish for me to pull out, and I'll give you a second to look at them. Okay, need a motion to approve band camp instructors for $350 each, and that is from July 1 to July 25, 2025. We have Christina Lowe, Madeline Lynch, Cora Stubbins, Christopher Goff, Kaylee Wine, James McChesney, Connor McCowan, Joseph Lustley, and that's it. Do I have a motion?
We'll provide their meals too, right?
Yeah, I think.
Let's get it under a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion?
Motion.
Okay. Questions?
Dan, I think you said July 1. You meant to say July 21.
21. Yes. I'm sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
We'll provide them with
Yes.
food, okay.
Yeah, I think parents and some volunteers
Okay.
help provide meals for the kids.
I just wanted them to get fed to,
Yes, sir.
the instructors.
Any other questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve band camp instructors for $350 each, July 21 through 25, 2025. And we have Christina Lowe, Madeline Lynch, Cora Stubbins, Christopher Goff, Kaylee Wine, James McChesney, Connor McCowan, and Joseph Lutzley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, we're into new business. Okay, need a motion to approve the policy J-09, open enrollment policy. And there was 6 comments on it. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
So that was in your packet, but since the internet is down, I have photocopied the 6 comments.
Thank you, sir.
And this policy comes from West Virginia Code 18-5-16, and
I have that.
I ran that off for everybody as well.
While Mr. McCown is handing that out, and I talked to Mr. McCown about this, so I'm not giving, I'm not surprising him, okay? But dealing with the comments, okay, and they were about our employees, okay, and I will tell you that I agree with the comments, okay? I think one of the things that we can do for employees is if they're coming, they live somewhere else and they have children, is that we can take their children into our system, okay? Which we can. The way the policy is written right now, it says that we may, okay, give them preference. And what I would like to see, that to be changed till, just says that we shall or we will, okay, give our employees' children preference. Now, we're only talking about when they live out of the county, okay? And also, and talking with Mr. McCown, and he has absolute valid point, okay? I'm talking about if we have room for them, okay? If there's room, the first people that should get those slots, okay, are our employees' children. I tell you, if we don't take our employees' children, we will lose those employees because, well, I don't want to say, there's a chance that we will lose those employees because they're not going to be able to take their kids to school somewhere else and then be here at Worth County. They're going to look for jobs in the county where they can put their kids, okay? So talking to Mr. McCowan, that he feels, and I agree, that we need to, if we're going to say that we shall give preference to employees' children. Now, these are just people that are out of the county. We're not talking about people who live in our county. We're talking about our teachers that come in from somewhere else. That if we're going to say shall, that within the policy we need to make sure that it's understood that's if we have room.
Correct.
Okay?
So-
And so it needs to be that we're not going to start new classrooms or whatever, okay? But if we have room, our employees' children get first dibs at those classrooms, okay? So that's what I'm saying, okay? So open up for comments, discussion on that.
So, may get priority doesn't, or shall get priority, doesn't mean the same thing as shall be accepted. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So, priority over whom?
Any other student from out of county?